Hello and welcome to the Skynet Studios. This is Abu. So I'm going to continue our series of the cities of the future. Today we are going to put focus on the transportation and how the transportation will look like in 2030 beyond. So the goal is 2030 through 2050 because of the population of the world is going to hit up to 10.5 billion by that time. So that's a growth of 2.2 billion between now and then. So how is it going to be our transportation at the time? Because right now we have congested road and all that stuff. So I just have another video that I just prepared for you guys. So let's go ahead and focus on that video. Welcome again. So again, let's go ahead and watch together.
Welcome back to our episode of The Cities of the Future. In previous installment, we talked about the cities of tomorrow. We looked at how accelerating change and environment issues will affect the future of welfare, economy, education, everyday living, and space exploration. Today, we will look into how people will get from point A to point B mid-century, whether it is cross town from one city to the next or one continent to the next. By 2050, the ways in which we get from point A to point B will change drastically thanks to automation, machine learning, hyperfast transit, and suborbital spacecrafts. Transportation is another sector that is expected to undergo a major revolution in the coming decades. In several respects, this revolution is already underway thanks to the introduction of autonomous vehicles. The wide-scale adaptation of electric vehicles, the growth of renewable energy, and the advent of commercial space flights. Between now and 2030, these technologies and trends will accelerate and lead to the creation of new transportation infrastructure, radically different from what we have today. The following factors will contribute to this evolution: urban sprawl and energy, clean energy, electric vehicle infrastructure, hyperloop and high-speed trains, smart ways and transit system, point-to-point suborbital flights. Our old ways, new life. Of course, the infrastructure of tomorrow will be built on existing transportation networks. This consists of urban centers with automated traffic control systems, mass transit networks existing alongside road networks, highway and rail systems connecting major urban centers, and airports providing flights between nations and continents. The problem with existing infrastructure, including its dependence on fossil fuels and the fact that it is aging and in disrepair. According to the analysis conducted by American Road Transportation Builders Association back in 2020, about 231,000 bridges in the US alone in need of repair or replacement. Similarly, in 2017, a report published by the World Economic Forum ranked 137 nations based on their economic competitiveness. As the report indicated, developed nations like France, Germany, Italy, Sweden, Spain, and the US and UK all suffered from the problems of degrading infrastructure. In particular, the state of roads and bridges was a major concern. However, the growing issues of climate change complicates matters somewhat. Rather than simply repairing the aging infrastructure, developed nations need to make upgrades to their transportation networks with sustainability in mind. As the old goes, necessity is the mother of invention. Aside from increased demand of food, water, and utilities like electricity, that is growth in transportation will entail. It will also lead increased air pollution, according to the Organization for the Economic Cooperation and Development. Environmental outlook to the 2030, greenhouse gas emissions, particulates, and ground level ozone will increase drastically by 2030. This could also mean that the number of premature deaths caused by air pollution could double reaching 3.6 million deaths annually, with the most occurring in China and India. These statistics becomes particularly frightening when considering the younger generations that will experience higher level of mortality as a result. According to the World Health Organization WHO, an estimated of 1.8 billion children, 93% worldwide, breathe toxic air daily, resulting in 600 deaths in each year. This problem will be made worse since much of the urban growth is projected to occur in the developing world. In these places, there is less access to medical care and power, and still largely generated by non-renewable resources. In short, by 2030, urban air pollution is destined to become the leading environmental cause of mortality ahead of pandemics, dirty water, and the lack of sanitation and access to medical care. Addressing urban transportation will therefore be a public health matter, as well as part of global effort to combat climate change. The nature of transportation will change drastically, keeping pace with the changing nature of cities themselves. Between 2024 to 2030, urban population will continue to grow outpacing rural population growth. This will create a double-edged challenges, as more people living in cities will mean an increased demand for food, housing, education, and basic services. The expansion of cities will mean less arable land and green spaces for growing food, not to mention further burden on our dwindling supplies to fresh water. However, there is a flip side of this situation, since cities are hubs for innovation and development, which means larger urban population could well foster new solutions for sustainable living. According to 2009 report compiled by United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs, world population prospect in 2019, the global population is expected to reach 9.74 billion by mid-century. That's 2 billion more people in just under 30 years. Beyond the number of people, there is also the question of where will they be living. Today, roughly 56% of global population lives in urban centers instead of rural setting, which works out of the 4.4 billion people. According to the United Nations Development of Economics, the global urban population is projected to increase 6.6 billion by 2050, accounting roughly 68% of humanity. Similarly, urban growth will mean that some cities will be overtaking others to become mega cities, according to the UNDESA. By 2050, sales-electric vehicles will reach 62 million units per year, with a global stock of 700 million EVs. In terms of sales, EVs will account for 56% of global market, outpacing internal combustion engines, which will account of the remaining 44%. This transition will be accompanied by drastic changes in the nature of infrastructure. Mass transit is expected to make serious comeback due to the growth of cities, socio-economic changes, and the demographic shifts, all of which will focus major cities to upgrade their infrastructure or face urban decay. These include the potential of increase of density, urban sprawl, and lack of proper service that could lead to the growth of slums and the gap between the rich and the poor. Currently, about 1 billion people live in slums, and the vast majority of the slums, more than 90%, are located in cities of developing countries. Other mega trends, including climate change and the need to provide service using more sustainable methods, smart technology and integration, as well as the emergence of the new technologies of the technologies that are expected to make appearance in the future. Hyperloop is arguably the most auspicious and anticipated, and could replace air travel in many areas. Smart driving and smart traffic. In the near future, Commuters will benefit from smart highways, a smart traffic control system, and transportation networks that are optimized with machine learning and AI-driven analytics. Today, many transportation networks that are optimized with machine learning are all on the way already. And that trend is anticipated to grow as more cities use smart technology to become more efficient. These systems rely on sensors, cameras, cellular routers, and automation system to monitor and direct traffic to reduce congestion within cities and residential areas. This system also coordinated traffic lights, pedestrian crossing zones, school zone signs, alert drivers speed limits, and issue tickets to violators. When paired with self-driving cars, this highway system will also coordinate autonomous vehicles, which will be much more common in order to reduce accidents and ensure commuters abide by safety regulations. This will eliminate the needs for speed traps and for police and civil authorities to enforce traffic laws, freeing them up to for more serious tasks. The task of overseeing all of this will fail centralized processes that rely on machine learning to analyze traffic patterns and find ways to optimize the local networks. This will significantly reduce the workload of transit authorities, reduce an associated cost of mass transit system, and dramatically improve efficiency. Another traffic-saving measures could come in a form of underground tunnels that allow the automated freight transport. A perfect example is that cargo Suez train system that is currently under construction in Switzerland. These 3 other countries are looking to realize their own underground freight transportation network using automated vehicles and freight delivery. In the US, there is a growing company that SpaceX founder Elon Musk launched in 2016 to create tunnel networks beneath major cities to automate automated cars, freight vehicles, and hyperloop trains. In Germany, there are plans to build automated freight transportation system known as the Cargo Cab. This system developed by researchers at the University of Boden and the government of North Rhine would use. Similar networks have been proposed for major cities in the US, European countries, and some African countries and Asian countries. By 2030, all these networks will be connected, and the world that we know today is too far from each other, too apart from each will become less. Driving distance, even a flight will never need it because of the space flights that will fill the gaps that.
Thank you once again. This is Skynet. That was episode 4 of the City of the Future. So this is transportation. We are going to look at the different ways, food, safety, all that stuff we are going to cover in this episode. So stay connected and try. Please subscribe. Also share. Also comments we always welcome. So thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day.